eventful morning we've had. We started off with waiting versus acting now. How to tell when an agent has their best interest in you. And now, for the most difficult question of the morning, what is the best advice you'd have for your younger self? Katie?
Yeah, and before I answer it, I also have to explain why this question why we thought this question was so fitting for this episode, and I want to because we had a very important birthday come along in the Fortune Collective, and Juan celebrated his 25th birthday last weekend, and so we thought it was only fitting to include this question for this episode, and so. First of all, happy belated birthday, Juan.
Thank
And
you,
then
thank you.
second of all, I think it's a good question, right? And I think like kind of reflecting back on like my younger self, reflecting on where I am right now, right? And I think one of the biggest things that I learned as part of this lovely journey of life, right, was that everything, I feel like I tend to want to plan like every aspect of my life, right? I don't know if other people are like that too, but I feel like it brings up so much anxiety and worry about the future, right? And I feel like I'm always trying to get like 10 steps ahead to where I need to be, right? Just anticipation of like, how do I go and kind of shoot for things that I want in life? And like this goes on for like personal, this goes on for career, this goes on for, everything, right? And so I think one of the biggest takeaways that I've learned was like, no matter how much I plan, no matter how much I worry and I stress about the future, everything tends to figure itself out. Like it is just like, everything like I imagine myself back in college, for example, right? Like I'd worry so much about whether or not I was going to get an A or even pass a class, and at the end of the day, it didn't really matter. Like none of it actually mattered, right? Because I tend to figure out and navigate like my career based on, it doesn't matter like what I did in school. It didn't matter, right? And I feel like that really goes and shows like a lot of aspects of life. Like you go and kind of plan all the details of it. I'm not going to remember half the like, majority of the details later on in the future, right? And I feel like it. I think as long as like you're working and leading to the direction of where you want to be, and like going and kind of making the motions, like a lot of the details, a lot of the things that I go and thinking about, like life figures itself out in the most beautiful way, right? I feel like it is like something that you can't really plan for, right? And I feel like it is all about how you go and kind of perceive life. It is all about like how you go and approach problems, right? And so I think that was probably the biggest thing that I've learned, right? It's like, and if I were to kind of go tell myself like, say 10 years, younger, I'd be like, yeah, like, you're doing the right things, no matter what the things that you're worried about. It doesn't matter. It won't matter in the future. But just, continue on and ensure that, you're making the right decisions, you're being a good person, right? And then life, chance, everything will figure itself out at the end of the day. So
Beautiful. I second that. And I think it's part of a engineering curse where we want to know all the details and plan accordingly to make sure that we're accounting for any unforeseen circumstances. That it's always important to remind myself, be present. Don't forget where you're at. If you have meetings later on, they can wait. You're here in the moment, whether it's recording a podcast early in the morning, whether it's out salsa dancing, that at that present moment in time, that's the thing that you're doing, and that's the thing that you should be doing well. For the longest, that was the hardest thing for me to just remember because it's always go, 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 and it's a high level of, it can be stressful, but I feel like that sort of stimulus is necessary for what I have to do to keep myself engaged with what I'm doing day to day. Um, I think a big other reminder is, yo, eat your veggies, man. Eat your veggies, do your push-ups, and at the same time, make sure that you're thankful for the little things. Another breath of life, being able to say, I love you, mom, I love you, dad, even to my siblings that I may not see them every day, but I remind them that even though I'm across the country, that they are not forgotten ever. Another thing I'm 31. I'll be 32 this year, and I keep thinking going to family. So I think I've done the right things to prepare for the family I will have one day. So that I'd say it's one thing I'm proud of that I've stuck out, and it's kind of like it's the non-negotiable to be able to prepare for that sort of thing for me. So also to hey, doing all right, kid, and to
Thank you.
right, like sometimes there's doubt. And it's like, okay, is this even worth it? Nah, it's worth it. It is
Mhm.
worth it.
Yeah.
Uh, and now to hear from our not anymore, not the young man Juan Magaña, but the grown man himself, Juan Magaña.
Oh my
What sort
God.
of advice would you have for your younger self like a week ago?
Oh, about a week ago. Oh man, if you're asking me this question now, about a week ago, I'd say live life to the fullest, man. That's my um no. I like what you guys all said, and I think it's very similar to what I think I've been trying to push myself towards too as well. Because I think I've earlier on, like even throughout high school, and like I'm bringing up high school because I'm that close to high school. Yes, I'm 25. So um, I would always stress about, what I need to be doing next, what I need to do to get ready to go to college, and all that fun stuff. And there was always, I felt myself not being there in the present. And because of that, I mean, yes, I would talk to people. Yes, to call, I was able to, yeah, I'd say I was like a little bit of a social butterfly where I could just talk to different people of my age group, but also teachers. Um, but I caught myself so caught up in, what's going to happen next? Where am I going to go next? That I think I forgot to really just enjoy the present and the moments that I think a lot of my other friends, got to experience, which was, whether it's going to soccer games, football games, or going out and just, doing stuff together, meeting up at people's houses and just relaxing, playing video games, and whatever it may be, right? I'm not saying I didn't do any of those things. There was from time to time where, I would go out. I went to a friend's house, played, we paintballed in his backyard because yes, his backyard is just that big. So I did have those little moments, but I feel like I wish I would have had a little bit more, had I just enjoyed the present a little bit more. And that's something to this day where I feel like now I'm a little bit more cognizant of because, at the end of the day, like you don't want to be worrying about the future or what it's going to bring because to Katie's point, it's going to figure itself out, you know. There's no point in stressing about it. And one of like the biggest reminders that I had, at least, for myself was, have you guys ever read the book The Alchemist? Either of you?
Mm.
No. So there's a book that I read in ninth grade, and like, who am I kidding? I didn't understand a word that book was saying in ninth grade. I just read it. I'm like, oh, this is cool. It's about like this, like, like sheep herder named Santiago, and he goes around the world trying to figure himself out. And I just kind of read it for like, the fact that I had to read a book for school or something. I forgot what it was. I just needed to read a book and then go take a test on the computer, and then I get points by the end of the semester, right? So I just read and it had like the most points. And I kid you not, fast forward probably like through no, that was ninth grade. So fast forward probably like 5 or 6 years later, I went to this Christmas party. It was a family Christmas party. And I had a family friend there that talked about it. And I told him that I had read it, and then he reminded me of a part that I don't even think I paid attention to when I was reading it in ninth grade. And it was basically he was looking to find the meaning in life, which was he ends up like I guess in this like desert area where he finds like this like guru or something, and he asked him like, "What's the secret to happiness in life?" So this guru was throwing like this big party, this birthday bash for himself or something in his big mansion in the desert. Tells him like, "Hey, dude, like I'm a little busy right now, but here I want you to. I'll explain it to you what it is. I just need you to walk around my palace with this spoon with a drop of oil on it, but I don't want you to drop the oil." So then the kid, Santiago, grabs that spoon, walks around this huge mansion that is filled with a bunch of different things that don't normally see in your typical life. You have artwork, fountains, animals that you just don't come across very often in your life. And when he circles around the entire castle, and I'm giving you guys a short version, um, is he comes back to the guru and tells him like, hey, like I didn't drop the oil. And then the guru tells him, okay, great. Did you see all my amazing pieces of artwork, my fountains, these animals, my zebras, my lions, etc., etc.? And then Santiago tells him like, oh, no. So then the guru tells him, go back again, and I want you to see all those things, but still take the spoon and oil with you. He goes around, circles back again, comes back, the drop of oil fell off the spoon. He completely forgot about it. And the whole thing that the guru had told him was, if you're looking for true happiness, is knowing how to enjoy what's it called? Enjoy the distractions in life, and without, forgetting about the goal that you have set for yourself. The drop of oil representing your goals and where you want to be, and all the art pieces of artwork, the animals, all those so-called distractions are, family events, events with friends, going out, having fun, enjoying yourself. Like it's okay to do that, but as long as you don't forget about like the end goal for yourself. Like where you want to be. You like Katie, you want a big Barbie house. Bartholomew, you want a big house up in the hills. Like remind yourself that it's okay to take some time off and enjoy it, whether it's salsa dancing or it's working out or it's just spending time with your loved ones. Like at the end of the day, it's gonna get done. I mean, don't put a timeline on yourself because life is long. A lot of unexpected things could happen. But just enjoy it for the ride. So when you're older, you could at least say like, oh, that was one hell of a ride. That's it.
This was such a wise answer, Juan.
Sorry.
I feel like now I have to read this book and get some oil and like make sure that I'm looking around too.
There you go.
You love everything in this podcast, you get life lessons, you get a book synopsis, it's
Oh.
so I love that's a perfect example, Juan. Thank you for sharing. Like I think if we were to sum up like, the experiences in life, right? I think it would be don't worry, be happy.
100%. I
Like
will
that.
have to add and throw in that I cherish these moments too because again, reflecting into where we're at in life, bouncing off ideas, and at the same time, it's fun to do this sort of things together. One of us is in Washington, Katie, Juan in California, I'm in Florida, and really the only thing that is between us is distance. But hey, we're on this call in the morning. For them, it's 7 in the morning. For me, it's almost 11. And despite the time difference, we still make that effort because as a team, this is the sort of thing that we do. And being able to collaborate with each other and at the same time helping those that want to be helped because we can't force anybody that cannot or does not want to be helped. So anybody that's listening, final thought on where can people find you, Katie, if they want to connect with you?
Find me anywhere. You can find me, you can find me
I
on
mean,
Instagram, you can find me on LinkedIn, you can find me through email. It's just a matter of reaching out, right? It's
Yeah, just reach out to Katie. She will respond. What about you, Juan? Where can people find you?
they can find me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, even. Well, I'm on TikTok too, so you can find me on TikTok. What's it called? So, and a lot of it for my TikTok and my Instagram, it's Juan Magaña Realty. My LinkedIn is just look up my name. You'll find me. I'll be there. Facebook is just my name as well. So I'm all on there.